All right, you guys. In class today, we spoke about surrealism, and in part of that conversation, we spoke about solarization, which was a technique that analog photographers used in a dark room where they shone a very bright light during the developing process for their enlargements. Here's a couple examples of solarization to remind you guys of what that might look like. And we're going to recreate this effect in Adobe Photoshop. First, go to your Adobe Lightroom Classic catalog and find a picture that you want to solarize. After you have done all of your developing editing techniques and so forth that you want it to do, you can right click or control click on the image, edit in Adobe Photoshop, and we are going to click edit a copy with Lightroom adjustments. Photoshop will open up, and most likely, if we have not yet opened up Photoshop this school year, your Photoshop will look similar to how mine does. Let's move this to the side. A couple minor adjustments that I like to make for my Photoshop is I like to move this properties panel to the side and then plug it in right there on this sidebar. We're going to be using the adjustments and our layers down here, so make sure that all of that is visible. The adjustments might look a little bit different. Either one's okay. I'm staying out of the presets. Do single adjustments. In Photoshop, it's important to work with what's called non-destructive editing. That means if I do something weird to my Photoshop, like, I don't know, if I, let's see here, if I do something strange to it, then it's a permanent change in my layer itself. So I'm going to click Command Z to undo what I did. To protect this, I'm going to click Command J in my layers to make a duplicate of this. So we're not confused, duplicate, and so the way I work in not as non-destructive is I work on the duplicates. I do not touch the original. That way I can always go back to this in case I make a mistake down the road. Make sure that the duplicate layer is selected. And let's see. Um, we right click this or control click. We want to click convert to smart object. And then once we have our smart object converted, click filter, stylize, and solarize. And this is taken exactly from the classic solarization technique. The only difference is ours has got some color, so if we add a black and white filter on top, then that already helps it look much better. With the black and white adjustment layer, you have all these other bars based on the colors that is reading from the image, so you can play around with that, try to help make some of them pop better than others. And once you're happy with it, you can click File, Save a Copy, and make sure that we are saving this as a JPEG. Click Save, make sure your quality is at maximum, and click OK. So there we have our solarized edit inspired by the darkroom technique back in the 20th century. Now, there's a couple other things that I wanted to show you beyond the bare minimum, in case you're curious to still play around a little bit more. Let's do this. Let's delete what we have, make sure we're just using the original. Command J to make a duplicate. I'll rename that. Another technique that we could do is we can click invert, and that does something quite similar to it. Throw a black and white filter on that. And if we want, we can add a photo filter just to give it some color. This is another sort of approach to the solarization technique, using that invert filter. It's fun to play around with all these and see what is available to us. Pull this one over here. Interesting, but not exactly what we're looking for. Let's go ahead and control or right click this and convert to smart object again. There's some other stuff that I would like you guys to play around with and explore in the filter area. It's important to have your smart object on, that way you can make any adjustments as you need. For example, if we do unsharp mask, we can hyper sharpen this more than we need to. Click OK. And because it's a smart object, we can always go double click unsharp mask and we can make the adjustments and it's not permanent. This one might be nice to double up with the solarization technique. Let's do stylize, solarize. So we have the unsharp mask and solarize happening all at the same time. Let's put that back in black and white. Or we can also use the gradient map as a tool to create black and white as well. It's a little bit dark. We can click levels over here and pull down this over here as our whites. If we pull it down this way, then we have more intense contrast between our darks and our lights. And because of our unsharpened mask, we have a very intense, over-processed look, which could be kind of cool if that's what you're going for. Let's go ahead and delete these. We'll hide these for right now. I want to show you something else. It's the filter gallery. This is grayed out, and the reason why it's grayed out is because over here in image mode, it only works in 8 bits. It's a little bit lower quality, but the filter gallery is pretty cool. So once this is image mode is in 8-bit, then we can go back to filter and click filter gallery to explore all these other different types of filters. See, it's a little bit zoomed in. I'm gonna zoom out so you can see a little bit better what's happening. There's a bunch of different folders of different types of filters that you can apply to your images. While this isn't solarization, I do accept playing around with something in here as a submission for the surrealism look. And I think it's pretty fun to check out and play with. It also comes with other um, controls to alter the different effects of whatever it is that you're working on. So yeah, go ahead, play around with all this stuff. The minimum requirement is giving me a solarized image like you see over here. But if you want to go above and beyond, I encourage you to play with a couple other techniques that I showed you um, to give yourself more opportunity to explore and express your creative endeavors. Thanks for watching. Looking forward to seeing what you guys make.